Hello everyone. So today I'm going to be reviewing a video that I came across from a channel on YouTube called School of Affluence. This is a woman who has her own channel on YouTube, and she gives tips and those sorts of things for social occasions. Really how to go about dating in order to attract affluent men. I'm going to be very calm as I can, but this video actually really pissed me off. I thought some of the things that she was saying were pretty terrible. I will be playing the video in the background. It is only 4 minutes long. No video of it, but you can hear it, and I will give you the link to the channel. So here we go. The name of the video is Why I Will Never Pay for a Man. The blurb is, this is why I will never go 50-50 with a man, and neither should you. Really? I don't fucking think so. I'm going to try to watch my language, but that is BS in this modern day of striving for equality. Okay? So here we go.
Valvoline full synthetic high mileage.
First we have an advertisement
after 75,000 miles.
Lately, YouTube has been playing advertisements on every video, and sometimes they'll actually interrupt videos, and it's really, really annoying. They do give you the option to skip, but some of these videos, these ads, are not skippable, and some of them are sneaky. They go under the 6-second rule that allows you to skip them, so you have to go through another ad. It's really sneaky, and I don't like it. I don't know how this happened. I don't know when it happened. I do recall a time when YouTube wasn't really working all that well, and then soon after, it was working like this, advertisements. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let it play through. It's an ad for Valvoline, which is an oil I don't use for my cars.
Cottonelle flushable wipes break down like...
Really?
Down air care with Cottonelle.
If you're a loyal follower, you know where I stand with my feminist aspect, but if you are a newcomer, you have to understand one thing.
Why men should pay. Okay, if you heard what she said, she starts off by saying she has feminine aspects. Or not feminine, feminist aspects. Now, anytime I get into a discussion with people, usually women, about the term feminism and how I personally think it should be discarded because it's sexist. The term feminism, to me, is sexist. It is, it's more favoring of feminine, opposed to equality. Now, what I keep getting told is that feminism is an equality movement. But when you hear this woman, she's not about equality at all. Just wait till you hear. But the first thing she says is why men should pay.
I am a traditional feminist who believes that the man has a role and is not currently fulfilling his role in society.
She's a traditional feminist who does not believe that men are fulfilling their role in society. Traditional feminist just said that. Now, my understanding is that's not what feminists were about. They were about being able to fulfill roles as well. That's my understanding. I could be completely wrong. But she's already out the gate saying something pretty rotten. Men aren't fulfilling their role. Give me a break. People aren't fulfilling their role. It's not just men. It's all people of different groups. A portion of them are not fulfilling a role.
Instead, although I'm a big feminist and I support the feminist journey that has been going on, but I believe that feminism has started to take a
Okay, so now she's got a chyron on the bottom that says, feminism today is serving men more than it's serving women. Really? I haven't noticed, but let's go on.
Direction that is no longer beneficial for the woman. It has been, and thank God for those times, but is going to an extreme now that is no longer beneficial for women.
Little thing, it says, we currently live in a patriarchy, a society created for men by men. I don't disagree with her on this. Thing is, there's a lot more women getting into so-called masculine roles and all that sort of thing. So it's not, the way she's saying it is a little bit over the top. Now, I think she's from Russia. She's moved to the United States, and I think she's from Russia. And so that could explain some of her attitude. But it gets worse, I promise you.
Listen, ladies, they are so spoiled by society. Society, and with society I mean everybody. Women, men, society is spoiling men. So what's happening now that instead of men offloading the shoulders of women, because don't forget, women, we carry a lot of hats, we have a lot of duties, much more duties than men have. So instead of men helping us to offload, women are now offloading men.
What? That whole thing didn't make any sense. So what she's basically saying is that women are doing more work than men. I don't get people like this. They seem to be blind to the fact that men are expected to work and are expected when they turn 18 to sign into a program called selective service, which basically says if we go to war, guess what, son, you're going to war. Women still don't have to do this, by the way. And what's really funny is a lot of the time it is women that are pushing against the idea of women having to register for the draft, which is bonkers.
So what's happening in society is that women are afloat.
Okay, another chyron. Today's society, parentheses, that is ruled by men, parentheses, created a version of feminism that is of benefit to men instead of women. Okay.
Putting 50% of the financial load in the household or in the relationship or in general in society, although women have much more expenses than men.
Okay, here we go. Women spend 50% more on their appearance than men. Net on average. Their salary is always lower compared to men. Okay, the last part has already been shown that that's a bunch of bull. In most jobs, it's simply not true. Now, there are some jobs where women are in lower positions and they get paid less than men. But it's like you do not have a general manager here and a general manager here making more money or something like that unless they're there for more time. So what she said there is already BS. She also, the thing about women spend 50% more on their appearance. Well, ladies, you know what you can do is you can tell your man, clean up, lose the beer gut, wear some cosmetics. Encourage your men to wear cosmetics. Don't do that "not my man" crap. Don't say you want manly men. Let your men do stuff like this. You know, instead of bitching and moaning because you have to spend 50% more. And by the way, my understanding is women are more likely to tell women how to appear. A lot of men are like, I really don't care. Of course they do. That's a load of crap. But women, usually it's older women or more mature women telling younger women, you need to wear makeup, you need to look prettier, all this sort of stuff. Giving them shade when they don't. Usually the type of women that give me shade for what I do. frankly, I just like both sets of those to just breed out, don't have children.
Much more responsibility than men and many more hats to carry than men.
Okay, she goes on in this video about how many hats women have to wear. Again, in my view, these are self-imposed hats, as she calls them. But the golden comment is one that's going to be coming up. Just wait till you hear this one.
Ladies, you know that we are responsible for many more things for biological reasons. Our brain is wired in a more complex way in terms of things that we intuitively think about. It has to do with children, with nurturing community and relationships and building relationships, forming relationships and so on. Men don't have the same capacity in terms of brain structure.
Okay, so I find basically what she just said quite insulting. And I think all men should find what she just said to be insulting. What she basically is saying is that men are Neanderthals and they can only think of one thing at a time, and women's brains are so much more complex and are more in tune with taking care of the kids and all that sort of stuff. Now, I understand that that is partially true, but the way our society has been arranged, it's kind of made it not possible for men to be involved with taking care of the kids. And once again, there are women that insist on being the only ones to take care of the kids. My mom was kind of like that. So,
to
yeah.
think in those lines that women do. No matter how the society says that, yes, but actually men are now also helping women 50-50 with the children and with the relationships and with community building and household and so on. Well, we all know that is not true.
Okay, that is a generalization, because I know of families where the male shares responsibility. But also, here's something else. If you don't like the fact your husband or your man isn't contributing to the family, how about you ask him to contribute to the family? Another thing you can do is do what my parents did and get the kids to contribute to the family as well.
We all know that even though a man is trying his hardest to pull in as much load as a woman does, he still can switch off his brain and not think about what's happening in the kitchen or with the kids or this and that.
Okay, see, now that's a load of crap. First of all, also, I'm going to say this, I think she's drunk. I think she's slurring her words in this video. She's supposed to be affluent, and the way she is slurring her words as she speaks. It could be her accent. I cannot be sure of, but I do know that she is slurring her words.
He still can just be very simple-minded and very kind of what's happening right here, right now. But a woman doesn't have that. She's built differently. And
okay, so she's doing this whole biological thing. She's saying that women, their minds are wired differently. To an extent, yeah. But you know what? Society also has a part in that, or the way the child is brought up. I don't think she is making such generalizations. I think that's the problem. I know my mind thinks differently than a lot of guys. I can think of multiple things at the same time and deal with multiple things at the same time. This is called multitasking. I do find I do better when I focus on one thing at a time, but I find that women that I know also perform better when they're thinking of one thing and dealing with one thing at a time. I think this whole thing about how women are just automatically multitaskers is a load of shit. Always has been, always will be.
This is what's so unfair, that she has to carry so many different burdens, so many different hats. She has to have many roles now in society, at home, at work, in the relationships and so on. While the man...
I'm telling you, if this is my girlfriend, she'd be out on the streets so fast. Just wait for this real golden nugget.
Is very comfortable. He's sorted. He is just doing one thing at a time.
Okay, and caption. Women now support men financially, while men don't support women biologically. What? What is she talking about? What does that even mean? Women now support men financially while men don't support women biologically? How can you support a woman biologically? Unless she's talking about raising kids. Well, you know what you do? You tell your man, why don't you help with the kids? You know? Or maybe make things, adjust things to where things aren't so expensive to where your guy has to work all the time. I mean, she is, first of all, she's really living an affluent life. I'm looking at the background of her house and it's all like fancy, all that sort of stuff. She herself is impeccably kept up. You know, she is, I think she's had work. I'll put it that way. But she's sitting in this wonderful like velvet chair, red velvet chair, which is not cheap, which is not easy to take care of. And so it's like, who's paying for that? Well, we'll go on.
Most often though, ladies, okay, let's really be realistic here. Most of the times, men and women, they go 50-50, yet the woman is the one who is taking care of the kids, running the household, running the relationship, building the community with networking and socializing and friendships and society, whatever it is, obligations. And the man only has one role, and that is go to work.
Okay. And the man only has one role, and that is go to work. What? Okay. That's what men have been told to do. Some men would like to have an active role in raising their kids. I understand there are men who don't. But you know what? There are also women who don't want an active role in their kids as well. These are outliers. I understand that. But I think there's far more men in those outliers that want to be an active role in taking care of their kid. And here's something else. She goes on about how she has to maintain the household and all of these things that are just so hard. You know, yeah, they can be difficult at times, but here's something else. You have kids. I think I was 5 years old when my dad offered me $1 to unload the dishwasher. Guess what I did? I unloaded the dishwasher. Then, over time, still for $1, because my dad was a grifter, said, son, why don't you rinse the dishes and put them in the dishwasher? Then unload the dishwasher when it's done. Guess what I did? Son, clean the bathroom. Okay. Now my dad took care of the house. That's something else this silly woman's not recognizing. My dad took care of the cars. My dad took care of the house. My dad, by house I mean the systems of the house. The electrical system, the heater, the stove, anything that went wrong, my dad worked on. Until later, when it was me that started taking care of things. The washing machine went on the fritz. Guess who took it apart and fixed it? Yeah. See, she is saying, she's making generalizations. That is the problem I have with it. But also she is supporting some really, really rotten ideas. And one of them, I keep intoning to it, is coming up.
And then after work, he eats his food that his woman has cooked for him, or he goes and does his things that he's used to doing while the woman is doing everything that she's obliged to do.
Okay, so she sounds like she's talking about like a 1950s setup, because she was saying that, you know, the man just has to go to work and then when he come home he doesn't do anything. He just eats the dinner that his woman has prepared. Did you hear that? I get home from work, I clean the house, best I can, and I make dinner, because my girlfriend's at work. When she and I are married, probably going to have the same arrangement. When she is finally making her money with her computer job and all of that, we're both going to be working and we're both going to share responsibility. That's how it works. That's how it should work. And that's called a 50-50 relationship. This woman is not talking about a 50-50 relationship. She's talking about maintaining things like how they were in the 50s, like what feminists were actually against.
So for this reason, ladies, yes, the society is very unfair towards women. I do not call this fair feminism at all. That's
okay. Here's the golden thing. It's a chyron on the bottom, and what it says is, that's why I refuse to pay in the company of a man. The money I make is mine. The money my partner makes is ours. Really? Oh man, you'd be right out on the curb. Seriously, I would not put up with that. That's some serious bullshit. That is not a mutual marriage. That is not a mutual relationship. That is bullshit. The proper term would be, the money I make is ours, and the money you make is ours. It's all ours. That's how it should be. It should never be, the money I make is mine, and the money you make is ours. That is BS. That is absolute crap. I don't know how this woman even has any followers with this video. I haven't looked at her other videos, but I have a feeling they're probably going to be just as bad. Probably a lot of, women don't dress like this, women don't do this, women don't act like this, blah 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 blah. I mean, I'm already looking at one here. 10 ways to look expensive on a budget. I'll bet you that budget is still some ridiculous amount. Alright, so off we go.
That's why I'm a traditional feminist, because I know that back in the days, although there was a lot of things that were not in favor for women, but a lot of things were actually in favor for women. The fact that the man was the provider.
Back in the day, things were in favor of the women. She calls herself a feminist. This woman is not a feminist. This woman is a throwback. She is someone who wants to go back to when women were kept, to when women were property, to when women couldn't own property, and to when women had no say in most things. She's scary. That's all there is to it. In my eyes, this woman's scary.
And the woman didn't have to stress whether she was forced to work or not.
AG.
Okay, well, it's going into an ad. So, my comment on her little video that I left for her. Well, here's an idea. If you are a woman that works as well as her husband, then tell his lazy self to contribute to the household. There's an idea. All he does is work, quote unquote. And if while he is at work you are at home and not working, then seriously, what is the issue? See, I understand that when the child is really young, the woman has to take care of a kid. I think that should be a shared responsibility. I do think the mother and father should be involved in taking care of the child at that young age. The way our society is set up, is kind of bogus. It's kind of screwed up. Right now, our life revolves all around work, and she doesn't like that. By the way, she like, all the man needs to do is go to work. Yeah, do you think he really wants to go to work all the time? Some do, yes. Most guys, no. They'd rather be at home. Alright, so anyways, then seriously, what is the issue? You have room and board and can just stay at home and sponge off him working. And if he is the sort of man that likes that, then rock on. But your stance that men are spoiled, yeah, so spoiled that men have a much higher suicide rate than women, and men have a lower lifespan than women. I am engaged to a wonderful woman, and we share a household chores. What a concept. Actual cooperation. What's mine is mine and yours is ours? Great maker. That is utterly backwards, and from a time when women were considered property, which it seems you want to be, or really, it seems you just want to be a sponge. This entirety of your argument that women have to spend much more to look pretty. Yeah, and who's actually pushing for women to look perfect all the damn time? Hell, I wish men could have more freedom in their style, but you women don't want that because you want real men, whatever the hell that is. Geez, the victimology in this is just astounding from a so-called feminist. Hark! What is that I hear? Oh, it's the sound of 1,000 steps backwards. This channel has got to be a troll channel. And that's what I thought. It's got to be a troll channel. But yeah, I think she is a few thousand steps backwards. I don't understand. I don't know how this woman has any followers, but she does. And there are women who are actually agreeing with her. Like this one. 50-50 relationships are not marriage, it's a roommate plus kids. What? The way she's thinking, it's the way a queen should be thinking. Not everybody understands that, but she's 100% right. No, she's not. She's not 100% right. She is so far off, it's not funny. Look, just go to the channel, go to the video, and put your own input on it. But also look at the comments. They're actually pretty unsettling. They are definitely from people who would like to be back in Victorian era. Alright, so that's my video. I hope you enjoyed it. My voice is, you can tell my voice is kind of shot. That's because the air quality around here is absolutely awful. And so, not much I can do about it. Hopefully things will clear up, and hopefully I'll see another video that I can critique. Until then, bye-bye.